Alright, so in this problem here, we're talking about Toyota Corollas, and their age is the explanatory variable, and the price is the response variable. So what we're doing right here is we got to make a scatter plot. So what I did is I put all the data into a list. And we're going to go to the second stat plot, turn the plot on, and that's our scatter plot. And then we're going to go to zoom and then stat, and that is basically what it looks like. So now in problem B, it talks about the association. So we want to talk about always four things: strength. Okay, so if I had to talk about strength, I would say that's pretty strong. Okay, that's a pretty strong association. Okay, form. Okay, form means, is it linear or is it curved? Well, there's a slight curve in it, but the question is it straight enough? So for right now, we're going to say that's straight enough. So we're going to say that that's linear. Okay, direction. And the direction here is negative. So as age of the car increases, the price decreases. Okay, and then outliers. Well, are there any outliers? I really don't see any that don't fit the pattern, so I would say there are no outliers there. Okay? And then it says in part C, do you think a linear model is appropriate? So I look at this and I can see a line of best fit going through that. So I say, yeah, it's straight enough to proceed as a linear model. Okay? And then question D says, computer software says r squared is 0.894. So what's the correlation? So r squared is 0.894. So r is the square root of 0.894. And if we do that, we get 0.946. But be careful, because correlation tells us two things: strength and direction. So the correlation is actually negative 0.946 because it's a strong negative linear association. Okay? And then the next question says, explain the meaning of r squared in context. Okay, well, r squared is all about variation. We always want to talk about. So 89.4% of the variation. What's our response variable? In price of a Corolla is explained by variation in age. Or you could say is explained by, instead of this, you could say by the least squares regression line. That would be okay also. Okay? And then the last question says, why doesn't this model explain 100% of the variation? Well, is the only factor in a car's price the age? Well, the answer is no. So what are some other factors? Well, some other factors are options. You know, if you have rims, or you have steel wheels, or you have power windows, you don't have power windows, or whether you have the ability to play an iPod in there. Do you have you know, where it gives you directions there, GPS? You know, some cars have that built in, some don't. What's the condition of the car? You know, is it beat up? Does it have dents in it? Or was it well kept? Okay, mileage. You know, a 2-year-old car that has 10,000 miles is going to sell for more than a 2-year-old car that has 50,000 miles on it. Okay? So those are some other variables that would go into the price of a car.